Okay, we've got one last addition that you may have been wondering about. In addition to the MontageEx file, um, there's an axe file. So we are going to turn this axe into a hatchet and we're going to put it in the cowboy's hand. All right. So I'm going to show you how to do that. We're going to start off by going to the axe tab. So it's a separate file. And we want to make a selection of just the axe. And the convenient thing about the way this is set up is this is a picture from the internet. It is surrounded completely by white. So it's very easy to select the white. If you remember when we did the lesson with the vegetables and the cutting board, we had the lettuce that was surrounded by white. What we want to do here is actually select the white area first. So I'm going to grab the magic wand tool. The white is all pretty much one color, so I'm going to lower the tolerance to 10, and I'm going to click in the white spot in any place on the white. And it's hard to see because it's such a small image. Let's see if the white goes all the way around this. So just by clicking on white, it follows all the way around this object. Um, it, Last time we worked with it, we unchecked the contiguous. You could check that again if you want before you click on this. You'll get all the white area as it's connected. Now we don't want the white part. We want the axe. So what we want to do first is do select inverse. So we've selected just the axe. Now we're going to edit copy from this file. We're going to go over to the MontageEx file. I'm going to go to the cowboy layer because this is going to be with the cowboy. So I'm clicking on the cowboy layer so this gets pasted above his layer. And now when I do edit paste, there's the axe. So the axe is kind of floating in the air right now. We need to do a couple things with it. We're going to put it as a hatchet into the cowboy's arm. So we're going to rotate it a little bit to get it in the right position. So I'm going to go to edit, transform, rotate, and it's going to let me pivot this. I'm going to pivot it so it's hanging down because it's going to go into his hand. All right. I don't want the axe blade facing him. So before I do the next part, I'm going to go over to edit, transform, and flip horizontally. So it's going to flip the axe the other direction. All right. So now the axe is in the right position. I'm going to put it in the right place, but now I need to resize it. So again, I'm going to edit, transform, scale. And I'm going to hold the shift button down, shift key down. I'm going to shrink this down till it's more of like a hatchet size. It just kind of will fit in his hand. And I'm going to hit enter. So there I have the hatchet. So I'm going to zoom in so we can see the hatchet by the hand, move the hatchet a little bit. So if we want him to look like he's holding the hatchet, obviously the hatchet can't be above his layer. So if I move the hatchet below the cowboy layer, it looks better, but it still doesn't look like he's holding the hatchet because what we really need is the hatchet to be overlapping the thumb, but we need the fingers to overlap the handle of the hatchet. So I'm going to show you what we're going to do. I'm moving the hatchet back up. I am going to use the polygon lasso and I'm going to make a selection that is just an area slightly bigger than where the fingers go around that hatchet blade. So here's the hatchet blade and you see it, I made a selection on the glove, kind of where that overlaps or where it would overlap. Now I'm going to go down to the cowboy layer because I'm going to copy just that little section of his glove from the cowboy layer So I'm going to do edit copy, and the cowboy layer is my source. I'm going to copy from there. I'm going to go back to the hatchet layer, make that my active layer, and I still have this selection. So when I do edit paste, it's going to paste what I copied from the glove directly into that location. Isn't it? There. Oh, I must have done something wrong. Let me go back here on the cowboy layer, edit copy. Sorry, there's a little bit of a disappointment. Okay, going back to the axe layer and then edit paste. There we go. So now the hand is covering. So we don't necessarily want to merge things because maybe we don't want the hatchet later, maybe we do, but we do want the cowboy and the hatchet and that little piece of his glove to all stay together in case we need to move the cowboy or something. So what I'm going to do is while I have this is my active layer, that little piece of glove, I'm going to hold down my control button on my keyboard. I'm going to click on the hatchet layer, which is 82, and I'm going to click on the cowboy layer. And when I'm holding the control button down, it lets me make all of those layers the active layers or select all those layers together. And then at the bottom of my layer panel, I'm going to click the icon that looks like links. And I'm going to link these or chain them together so that they all stay together. So if I decide to move the cowboy, the hatchet, and that piece of his glove all stay together. Okay? That's what we do to add the hatchet piece.